Okay, this is a tricky excavator, but it's pretty simple what we're doing. This is your pilot system down here, and that looks kind of crazy. It's really not so bad. This right here is the dump of the bucket. Marked it with a pink tag, and we just put a quick coupler on here, screwed it onto the end of the valve. The opposite side of that, this goes to the joystick. Okay, so we extended, because it's way back in here, we extended the curl. Okay, so here's your two lines, and we just put them together up here because this is our test excavator. We do all kinds of weird valves. And then we teed off of our pressure right here, which this is where the test port was for testing pressure. It's a real easy way to find them on there. So that's all we did. Like I said, it looks scary, but it's not so bad. We just cracked the lines loose, and then we just moved the joystick, and we made it squirt in there till it come out. So this is our pressure line, and I'm just going to set it up here. We got the valve. It's how we send the valve with the full valve kit is we put two swivel 90s on it. It's pilot, D for dump, pilot, C for curl. Okay. On the opposite side is joystick, C for curl, joystick, D for dump. Auxiliary prop. So this is if you have the feature where it runs the machine with you at the same time. Not everybody uses that on all the machines. So when our hose kit, we send this big amount of hose there. It's about 5 feet long or so, or 6 feet. So that simplicity is you get your hoses to where you're going. Now, no one's going to hang their valve on the outside of a machine but me, guys, because this is what I do. You'll just run hoses. You can make them 16 foot long and run them to the other side of the machine. Put it anywhere you want so you can set this valve. You can zip tie it up. You can run bolts through it. Zip ties are great if you got a nice soft place to put it. Here's our plugs. Now we build wiring harnesses, a lot of wiring harnesses. There's probably the 50th valve on this machine. So, but we got curl, and curl goes to flip. And then we have stop, and stop is dump. So if it doesn't say those two, that's what you're going to see. An auxiliary, if you have an auxiliary, it'll be a separate plug that comes out, and it runs off the harness, and it's for the auxiliary proportion line. So let me hook this up for you so you can see how it works. It's pretty simple. We've got our lines here. First thing we do is we take, this is our pump, this is our pressure, and we're going to plug this into the auxiliary line. Okay? So, very simple with quick couplers, put it on there. Okay? Second thing we're going to work on is our curl. That's this one right here. So we're just going to pop it apart. This is towards the pump side. It's very, very simple. I know that's the red one on the curl because I got them marked. You'll see them marked green and red. And the other side of this is right here to joystick curl. Okay, so curl, pilot curl, that's going towards the pilot valves. Joystick curl, we always put, and you'll see in the diagrams, you always put the coupler towards the joystick. So this is the one going to the joystick. So we got one more line to hook up, and I'm just gonna take it loose right here. You can see it. And holding a valve and filming a movie all at the same time, sometimes hard. So I'll put it right in there, and this is joystick dump. So that's the joystick side. This is the hose that's on the machine already. I've had enough hands here. I'd plug that in, there you go. And we've got the other end of that, which is the green one. And I'm just gonna hang this thing here a second, and I'm gonna reach in here and pop that dude on. So now you have a full valve installation, okay? Valves, but now we've just plugged it all in, got all our plugs in. Now we've got to work the air out of the circuits, because here we've got, 12 foot of line with air in it. We got to get rid of it. We're going to start it up. So we're just going to curl the bucket back and forth. You're going to feel a little bit of lag for a while in the bucket. We're responding because there's air in there, which is compressing, and hydraulic fluid doesn't compress, so you get this little soft fluid. But after a while, the air will work out. There's no problem. To test our proportional pilot pressure, we have a special knob up here. As I turn it, if you watch the bucket, you'll see it start turning. I can turn it slow, I can turn it fast. Whatever I want to do. This shows us that everything's perfect on there. So when you're done with that, you shut that all the way, turn it to the right. It's all finished that way. So you purge the air out, and you test everything that way. And then we can get on the system, and pretty simply, we can curl the bucket, we can push the button, and we can see the main boom float working. We can stop it, and it holds it right there to grade. Pretty simple. But if I curl with the button held, it'll curl right out. And that's all there is to purging the valve and getting it ready to go. Aside from mounting in a good place. All right, how do I line a bucket? You can see the bucket there. If you look on my screen now, it's 0. I'm gonna move it to the other end of the ditch, and it's up 2 inches. So, you see the bucket out here. I'm gonna lay the bucket down what I think is flat. And then I'm gonna hit the F4 button here, and it's gonna make this flash. And I've turned the bucket down what I think flat is. All I do is hold down 2 buttons, you hear it beep, and we're gonna try to dig. So I'm gonna hold the button down, turn on hydraulics, bring it out a little bit, bring it into me. You can see it there. I just have it kind of going nice and easy. We're just gonna kind of see how the bucket acts, see if they can turn out. And we're gonna pull it out and dump it. So, from that point, come over here and you can see, I'm going to touch this end of the ditch right here. It's still pretty close to 0. I'm going to touch this end over here, and it's just a little bit high. You can see it's 1/4 inch high. So I'm going to take it down just a teeny bit more, which 1/4 inch is pretty good. So I'm going to set my bucket down. I'm going to hit the auto steer button. I'm going to turn it a little bit to see how it's resting. It seems to be right about there. So I'm going to turn down just a teeny bit more. If you watch the bucket, once you turn down just a little bit, you almost didn't even see it. Hit the F4 and 5 button again, it beeps. Now I'm going to dig again. So I hold down my button, push down on the main boom. You can see it's shot and slide a little bit more there from where we were at. Nice and good. Pull it out. Dump it. Got it idle here, so it's slow as can be. Now I'm going to go check my 2 points. So I check it right here, and I'm going to re-zero it. Anytime it's flashing, you gotta hit enter to get it out. Hit 0, put my grade back on 0. Let's touch the other end of the ditch, right here. And where are we at? It's a little bit low, so I went too much. So I'm gonna come back here again. I'm gonna hold down my button. I'm gonna let it turn the grade, so you can see the bucket over there. I'm actually gonna turn it up just a little bit. So there, I just turned it up a little bit. Hit my F4 button down, it's flashing, and then I hold both buttons down. That's re-angled the bucket. Hit enter to get out of that, and then I'm going to start a new hole. You always need to be going uphill so you got something to cut. I'm going to start a new hole right here. Put it on grade, I'm going to hold it down, I'm going to let it cut. It's cutting all fresh, new, natural dirt. Out of the way. Bring it back, and let's check our grade now. And our grade, sometimes this takes a few times. Set to 0. Come over and check the other end of it, and there we are, within 1/8 of an inch. That's good. You've got it set level. Okay, we're going to explain how to adjust the float or the boom control, number 1, we call it flex. If you hit your enter button off, there'll always be a yellow bucket out of machine control. When you hit enter, that turns on machine control. So the boom's white, we're not using it. So these 6 buttons represent these 6 points inside the screen. So the boom's bottom left. Won't hurt you, just play around. We're going to turn the boom on, and you can see what happens. See how it dropped a little bit? Now that won't happen with the new safety software until you boom. But to adjust the boom, you've got to have it work this way. So, what we do is when I lift the boom, it'll actually go down. I lift harder, it'll stop. I lift even harder, it'll lift. And we are at idle right now. So to show this at idle, we have an adjusting screw for all different size machines. This unit works kind of like slipping a clutch. It allows the machine to work with you as you dig. It allows the bucket to steer freely. So take the jam nut loose, you put in a Allen wrench. This how you adjust it is this. We've got the boom turned on. We just start lifting, and we want to lift about half joystick, and that's what you adjust it to. So that you can lift up or you can go down. So when I speed the engine up, just a little bit of joystick and it'll always lift out of the way. And that's basically how it works. So to show you how the boom works even better, I'm going to shut it off. I'm going to put the bucket on the ground, and I can pick myself up right now. The minute I turn on or grab the button, turn it to green, I can't lift myself up. This is to allow a certain amount of weight to go down to your bucket. That's a perfect adjustment. Turn it off again, turn it off, and fall to the ground. Works that way on all machines.